Welcome back to 5-Minute Knives, the show where I like to give my amateur take on the gear I either love and or don't like so much. Today, we're talking about an axe, a camp axe, the Schrade SCAXE10. And this little guy here is, I'm reading it, it says 11.1 inches overall length with a blade length of 3.6 inches and a weight of 1 pound, 5.9 ounces. So here's your SCAXE. Looks like this steel. This is a stainless steel 3CR13. I am not familiar. Feels like a soft steel. I get an edge on this thing and then it doesn't really hold for long. Aside from this folded over piece that makes up the blade, it does seem to be all one piece other than this rubber coating in the handle. It is comfortable and it does have a nice balance to it. I actually like this little camp hatchet thing to pound in steaks and things like that. I think this is actually a pretty decent hammer on this guy, and it is pretty comfortable to use like that. Choked up, it's not a bad grip. The grip in itself doesn't feel very bad, although it's very slim in the handle. I will say this, getting a real edge on this thing's been a major challenge. Keeping an edge on this thing's been even harder. It dulls as soon as you look at it, as far as in my experience. This thing will run you anywhere from like, I don't know, $20 to $35. I've had it for a long time. And this was kind of just like a pack, bug out sort of option. But lately, I found that I've been leaving it home more and more in favor of some lightweight options, such as the Baco Laplander saw. A 7-inch saw here. This is pretty sweet. This thing's like 14 bucks. So that's nice. That can go right in your pack. That saves you a lot of weight. And if you were going to go with a large fixed blade, here's the Architect 6.5 Field Buddy. This thing could baton your wood, make feather sticks, make kindling, you know, just as easily, I'd say, as this. And you're actually saving a lot of weight. So in the past, I always brought like a little hatchet and a fixed blade. It's just too much stuff. So that being said, if we look at this just by itself, it's very, very hard to split some of your more stubborn pieces with this. You don't really have the weight to generate a ton of force. And if you are, it's kind of unwieldy to the user. It's a little hairy because it's so short. So it's kind of a weird little size. You do get this sheath with it, and the blade goes in like that. You snap it closed like so. This is nice. I've never used it on the belt, of course. It's just a little flimsy. This just always went in the pack like that. For 30 bucks, it's not a bad. I mean, if you just wanted something to make you feel better, that's great. But it's another thing having it in the pack than it is actually using it in the field. And this thing kind of sucks in the field. Just my opinion. It's hard to baton. You can see it's had some use. Not a lot. I'm just not a giant fan of the design. I'm going to keep trying to put another edge on this. It's fairly sharp now. As sharp as this has gotten. It's okay. I mean, I have my eye on the SE Camp Axe. That's the one I'm going to get next. I have a feeling if this is all you had, it would be useful. Over time, I'm seeing less and less use for it. It's one of those things that you just kind of got because it was affordable. It went in a bug out bag. You figure, well, I'm going to need some type of axe hatchet when I'm out there. You know, a lot of people don't really subscribe to the batoning of wood with knives, and they would rather have this than a fixed blade. I would personally rather go with a fixed blade. I think it saves you weight and time, and honestly, I get through the wood easier with it. Take what you will. I mean, price point, it's really inexpensive. It feels fairly rugged. This folded over piece, this kind of sheathing that makes up the blade here, this stainless steel, this 3CR13 stainless steel, it's not great. I seem to have a lot more feedback when I give a negative critique of something. I know a lot of people get worked up or they enjoy, you know, owning this piece, probably not using it very much, because if you're using it a lot, it is kind of a pain. But for me, this thing's going to be a total pass. Total pass.